Looks like we got a couple in the house tonight. Who do we have on tonight? Finally cooled down enough where it's halfway tolerable to be outside. Been, I wouldn't say unseasonably hot, but normal hot heat that we've had. Been a lot of hot, humid days, but that seems to happen here in the Cornhusker State. Death Hawk 713. Welcome, bud. Humid days in Nebraska, but a lot of high, it starts to really put off a lot of humidity, and indexes here for the last couple of weeks have been really high. So, Death Hawk, where are you from? Southern California. So you're no stranger to the heat then. I think Yardism Chad, I think he's in San Diego, I think. I think that's where he lives, is San Diego. If you haven't caught Chad's live stream on Fridays, you definitely need to. Having a little Watch City Cigar. This is some Old Dominion that we're having tonight. Yep. Are you burning a bowl tonight? Haven't got a chance to watch Onion's latest video. I think it was a VR to somebody. I've been pretty busy at the shop. I own a body shop, and My oldest son started working in the cornfields a couple of weeks ago, so he has to be at the pickup site where they all get loaded on buses to go out to work at 5:30. So I've been going in after he gets. I get him up there, and then I go in and been going in at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and trying to get some work done. Still don't have any help in the shop. My wife takes care of the office, and like last week, she helped install a bunch of glass on some cars. But seems like the trades are desperate for people right now, and there's just nobody to be had. Looks like the sun's peeking through those branches there. I flipped the camera around tonight. That way we didn't have to look at the patio door. But yep, not sure what we're going to talk about tonight. I've had several things bouncing through my head. Sounds like uh, the North American Pipe Collector Society show that was, I believe, in Columbus this year was canceled. So I don't know if there's going to be any shows this year. I think the next one will be up is the Kansas City Pipe Show, and I think that's in September. We do a lot of collision work at our shop. We do a lot of accidents and things like that. We've got we do have one restoration project that's in there that we took on, so that way we could work on it if things got slow. But we don't usually do too much with the restoration side of things, just because there's such a long and drawn out process when it comes to when it comes to most facilities. They're set up for what we call production work. It's real hard to do restoration or hot rods or anything like that, just because with production work, we're set up to repair the damage on a vehicle. And we like to get them in, get them repaired, and get them back out the door. With restoration and hot rod work, it's usually a much longer time period that they're in there. Anywhere from, your typical restoration is anywhere from 12 to 36 months, depending on how you want to do it. And our shop's only about 5,000 square feet, so it's real hard to have too many of those jobs sitting around, because they're kind of albatrosses. They take up a lot of space. But talking to most people in the collision industry, and in the trades of themselves, there's a shortage of people in it, and shortage of people going in it. But I guess back to the pipe related side of things. Yeah, I know that the Columbus show, they announced that they had canceled that, and I think the next one is the Kansas City Pipe Show, which would probably be the only one that I would be able to make it to this year. Kansas City's about 4.5 hours from where we live. My wife's actually from the Kansas City metro area, so that's kind of, we try and make it down there. Not nearly as much as we probably could. But being small business owners, at being the chief cook and bottle washer, it's kind of hard to get away sometimes. The other thing that happened today, I don't know if you know, but Mac Baren released their Stockton spun cut tobacco, which is a re-release of a limited edition that they released 2010s exclusively through Smoking Pipes. So I've got a couple of tins on order. I'm kind of interested to see what they're like. It's a medallion style tobacco from what I understand, but the core of it is made of a Cavendish, but the Cavendish is made from dark-fired Kentucky. So that'll be kind of an interesting one to try. And well, unfortunately, you turn on any news channel right now, and there's really no good news at this point in time. We've got some COVID cases rising back up, and got a phone call from one of my fair board members. Pipes and cigars, you know, they catch a lot of flack from a lot of different people, but you know what? I haven't had a bad experience with them. Their shipping is a little bit slow. Even pre-COVID, their shipping was a little bit slow. Garbage Man Piper, how you doing tonight, man? I was having a bowl of Marlin Flake earlier. I guess it was last night, and I was thinking about you. Your video with your we got company here. With your video with cutting your Marlin Flake into slices with your cigar or with your tobacco press cutter. Get up there. You gotta lay down. Yes. Hi, sweet. Yes. This is Lily Bell. Yes. Hi, sweet. Yes. Hi. Yeah. You say hi to everybody? Can you say hi to everybody? Okay, that'll work too. But I was thinking, I need to get on eBay and find one of those presses, because boy, that works slick as all get out. Well, thank you. Yeah, she's 2 now. Her name's Lily Bell, and she's she and I have a special relationship. Let's put it that way. I think, as my wife puts it, the love between a dog and the dad who didn't want her. So. This is her normal position at night when I'm out here smoking. It's kind of interesting, you know. It was, let's see, we got her when she was 8 weeks old, and somehow my wife and kids convinced me that to go get a dog, that they wanted to get a dog. And I'd been sitting there going, we're too busy to have a dog. And my wife showed me some pictures of this puppy she'd been talking to this gal about out in Colorado. And I said, well, geez, you know, it's a long ways to go to get a pooch, but, you know, I guess if that's what you guys want, we'll go ahead and do that. So we loaded up in my truck one morning, and we drove from Aurora, Nebraska to Aurora, Colorado. And when we got there, the people that my wife had contacted were telling us about the situation with her, and what it was is they have a special needs son, and they had a golden retriever for a service animal for him. Well, I didn't realize that service animals, the amount of training they have to go through and how much it costs. It's like each phase of training is like $6,000, and I think he was kind of like a mid to high functioning autistic boy, and so having the service dog would help him keep him calm and on the level. So they'd already put this golden retriever through the first level of training, and they were trying to figure out the second level of training. And so some friends of theirs said, well, you guys have an AKC registered lab. We've got an AKC registered lab. Why don't we breed them, and then you can sell AKC registered puppies to, you be good, you be good. Hey, yes, it's okay. Lily, come on. Why don't you sell the puppies? Hey, Billy, you leave Willow and Elmer alone. You leave them alone. Our neighbors have a couple of dogs, and when they get out, she just wants to go play with them. Billy Bell. Yeah, I know. It's okay. Yeah, yes, I know. Yeah, I know. It's okay. Yes. Are you upset? Okay. But they said, why don't you sell the puppies so that way that will take care of the cost of your special the special needs training. And so that's what they were doing. And so we went and picked her up in Colorado, and she was just a tiny little puppy. And she and I kind of bonded instantly. Let's put it that way. So we've been kind of buddies for the last 2 years now. So she definitely keeps my life interesting. Let's put it that way. Yeah, Lily, it's 90 degrees out, and you're pretty warm. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I know. But when she sees Dad get a pipe out, that she knows that it's time to go outside because we're either going on a walk or we're going to go sit out on the patio, and so she gets pretty excited about that. Yeah, if you can find a lab, they're great. They're great pups. They're not guard dogs by any means, but if you're looking for just a good, as you can see, loving dog, labs are the way to go. So yeah, growing up, I had a chocolate lab, and he was a good dog. And then we'd looked at some labs around here, but part of the problem we'd run into is this is big bird country. We do a lot of dove and duck and goose and pheasant hunting, and so a lot of these dogs they're coming from stock that they know is good bird dogs, and so they get a premium for that. You're sitting there just smiling up a storm, aren't you? Do you see yourself on there? Oh yeah. Hey Steph, how are you doing? Apparently we have a co-host for the show tonight. This is Lily, our yellow lab. She decided to come join us tonight. Did you guys get settled in, Steph? But yeah, they're big babies. They're big babies. Let me put it that way. They're just big babies. So, yeah. Good. Glad to hear that, guys. Glad to hear that. I've missed getting to see you guys on Saturdays. Most of the time, well, when you guys were still able to do your Saturdays, I was stuck in meetings or stuck at work, one of the two. So, here, why don't you lay down? Yeah. Why don't you lay down? Yeah, because see, this is a pipe smoking live stream, not a lab kisses with pipe stream. So yeah, yeah. So, but I don't know what life would be like without her. Let's put it that way. So you know, probably a lot less hairy because the thing nobody told us was that labs shed twice a year, which doesn't seem too bad, except at 6 months at a time. So, and the interior of my truck is black, so she has a tendency of making quite the mess in there. There you go. Lay down. Lay down. Oh, no, it's okay. I promise it's okay. You're just all kinds of happy, aren't you? Yes, yes. Yeah. Why don't you get situated? There you go. There you go. There you go. There we go. All right. All right. So let's see what else is going on in our world here. Well, there was a major win for the cigar and pipe tobacco world, and that was that the judge struck down the labeling requirement on tins and cigar boxes. So that's always a plus right there, where we don't have to put up with those big old labels on everything. So that's a win. Now if we can just get the rest of these deeming regulations thrown out the window, so that way we don't lose any more good blends. I started this pipe when I left the shop, and I think she's getting down to the dregs there, but it's some Watch City Cigar Company, Old Dominion, which is a Virginia Perique, and that's got, I believe this one's got a little bit of Dark Fire Kentucky in it. It's either this one or 558. I can't remember which. Hey, Devok, you have yourself a great evening, okay? But just a solid Virginia Perique blend. I've been very impressed with all the Watch City blends that are out there. They've got, if it ever comes back in stock, they've got one called Simply Red, which is just a really nice, tangy red Virginia. It's, I'd say it's not a replacement for, but it's very close to 5100, McClellan's 5100. And then they've got Ahab's Comfort, which is a solid English blend, Old Dominion, and 558 Flake, which are both Virginia Perique flakes. Watch City Slices, which are sort of a navy flake, and none of them are true flakes. They're more like crumble cakes, but they're good ones. A little bit on the pricey side. I think they start about $4.50 an ounce, I believe. The last time I bought some from them, I think I bought 2 pounds of each to sell her because they just seem like they're good blends to sell her. They just are ones that get good with age. Yep, I think that one's out. You got some Old Dominion stuff. That's a good blend. It's a good blend. It's like all Virginias, you have to be careful with it because it can bite you. But I found that, push my computer back just a little bit so her nose isn't sitting on the keypad. There we go. It's not quite as hard to come by. It seems like a lot of these blends, the commercial blends, are just really difficult to come by. Marlin Flake is another good Virginia Perique. Old Gowrie, those are both Rattray's blends. Even I've noticed, nothing like having a 75-pound dog on you here. You gotta find your spot that you're comfy in there, though. Yeah. So, but it seems like with the boutique blends, they're a little bit easier to get their fingers on. So, yeah, Simply Red, it's got that kind of bready, real sweet note to it. It almost reminds me of like candied apricots, but it's a ribbon cut, shag cut, whatever you want to call it. But I think I'm going to have a bowl of that here for the rest of the stream. Been working on getting the county fair stuff finalized here. We've got county fair coming up. We start setting up for it on Saturday. Granted, this year's setup is going to be quite a bit less than it normally is. We're not able to, because of the directed health measures from our health department, we're not able to have a carnival or a midway. We're not able to have some of our grandstand events. Well, we're able to have grandstand events, but from a fair standpoint, it's not really profitable for us, or I shouldn't say profitable, but financially feasible to have them with the whole social distancing thing, because our grandstands on our racetrack are not huge. I think they hold like 1,900 people. Well, when you figure the size of them and you figure the number of people we can put in there, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to hold it, because we'd only be able to put 300 or 400 people in the stands. And for like our figure eight races and things like that, none of those guys are going to bring their $80,000 or $100,000 race car out to race for a $250 or a $300 purse. No demo derby this time, so we'll see you, Steph. Have yourself a great evening, and tell Skip hi for me. No, actually, we haven't had a demo derby in about 10 years. And honestly, a lot of that came from the fact that people were running out of old cars to race in the thing. And so what we started doing instead is a trailer race, which is like a demo derby, except you race in an 8-figure, and then the goal is to knock the trailer off of the other car. And that's usually one of our bigger, more well-attended. Oh, geez, Will. One of our bigger, more well-attended events is the demo derby. I think our numbers last year from the trailer race, I think we had 2,100 people show up for the trailer races, which was a real good turnout. Unfortunately, this year, I just don't think that we're gonna be able to. Well, we figured it out early on that we couldn't do it, because if you can only put 300 or 400 people in the stands with social distancing, it just doesn't make any sense to do it. guess the other thing that I've started recording video for is a series of cigars for the pipe smoker. So I've been working on some different cigars that I think pipe smokers would find enjoyable. The tough thing is they don't make a cigar that has a Burley in it, and they don't make a cigar that has a Virginia in it, as far as I know. There's different strain of tobacco that they use in cigars, and so I've noticed that cigars they're quite a bit different than pipes. I'm sure you guys have too. But I'm trying to find some no acids. No, no acids. I'm not a fan of those acids at all. Actually, one of the cigars that I thought might work out well is a Tobacco Special Red Eye, which is a coffee infused one, and it probably would have been a good cigar, except the end of it was sweetened. And honestly, the sweetened tip it took away from the cigar itself. It gave it too much of a Swisher Sweet-esque tone to it, I guess. But no. So I've got some of the Muwats, my Uzi weighs a ton, fire cured Kentuckys, which is one of my favorite sticks. I've got some of those resting in my humidor right now. I did an initial video on it. I think I'm going to do another one. I had actually smoked all of the fire cured Kentucky sticks that I had, and so I ordered some more, but they were a little fresh out of the box, and so they needed to sit and spend a little bit of time. How are the Nub Coffee ones? I've heard good things about those, but I haven't tried them yet. Obviously, I should have let this stuff dry a little bit before I tried to smoke it. But I do have. I got some of those fire cured Kentuckys. I got some of those Tobacco Specials. I also got from the Deadwood Tobacco Company some of their Fat Bottom Betties, which, from what I understand, are not an infused cigar, but they're an aromatic one. So the Cameroons are delicious. I really like those Nub Cameroons. Well, I don't know if you heard, but Smoking Pipes got a release from Mac Barron today for Stockton, is the name of it. It is a roll cake type tobacco, but instead of having just a regular Cavendish in it, the Cavendish is actually made from dark fired Kentucky. So they're limited to that to 2010s, and it's only through Smoking Pipes. So I put in an order for a couple of tins of that, and then I actually got a couple of Liga Privada number 9s that they had too. So, but yeah, so trying to find, because the thing that I've got a buddy who is newly into pipes and cigars, and he kind of I've noticed that when we sit and have a conversation, a lot of times our pipes are going out. Whereas with like a cigar, once you get it lit, it's going to burn. And so while it's burning, you're good to go. And so, kind of in a social situation, I think maybe a cigar is a little more appropriate type of consumption device than, say, a pipe is. So being that, I'm primarily a pipe smoker, and most of you guys are primarily pipe smokers, we need to try and find that. okay. It's okay. Come here. Lil, come here. Are you taking her with her, hon? You're going to take her? My wife is heading somewhere here. And she loves going for rides, so. But I have not had the Ligas yet. Everybody's raved about them, but I have not tried one yet. I'm kind of curious to try them, so I threw a couple of those in my cart. It's kind of hard to get too excited about them when they're $14 a stick. Whereas I think pipe smokers, we're a little more frugal on that end too, where we can spend $14 or $15 on a tin of tobacco and get quite a few bowls out of it. What I have actually brought one out because I wasn't sure what I was in the mood for. Is I've really been kind of digging these Ave Maria. This is the Divinia, and this is a Toro size. And these ones are solid cigars. I really have enjoyed those. The other ones that I really like and have been on a kick on here lately are the Perla Habanas, and it's the 500 Años, the 1515 series, and they're made from Cuban seed stock, but they're rolled in Nicaragua, and they're very Cubanesque. Let's put it that way. They've got that Cuban tone to them. So, but I'm trying to kind of go through my humidor and see what I've got and see which ones would most be most enjoyable by pipe smokers. I tell you, Mel, the first couple Ave Marias I had, I was not impressed with. They were just kind of flat, and I actually found a couple, three of these at the bottom of my humidor, and they'd been in there for about a year, and these ones really shined actually after being in there for about a year or so. I went ahead and picked up another 10-pack and tucked them in the humidor, so that way I know, well, I'll give them 6 months and see how they turn out. Of course, 6 months from now will be the dead of the winter, so I probably won't smoke them then anyway. So I'll have to wait until the weather turns decent enough to have them. But the other one that I heard was pretty darn good. I think it was named the 2019 Cigar of the Year by Cigar Aficionado, is the Aging Room, and I can't remember which one it is. So, hey, it was good seeing you, Mel. Have a good evening, buddy. Appreciate you stopping by. We'll have to get together sometime on one of these live streams and chit chat about things. So, go have yourself a good dinner and a good evening, okay, bud? But all right, bud. We'll see ya. The Simply Red is that I got in here. It's very reminiscent of that Tang that 5100 cake has, and it's enjoyable. This is a Sir Jacopo that I'm smoking it in, and I will have to tell you that this is quickly becoming one of my favorite pipes, actually. just because the drilling is excellent on it, the draw is excellent on it. It's a big pipe, but the bowl on it is not huge. Good straight walled, kind of versatile actually. It works as well for vapor blends as it does for some of the less sensitive bowl size ones. Oh, so quarter to 8. We try to usually wrap her up by about 8 o'clock or so, Central Time, I should say. This is one of those blends you got to be careful with because it will bite you if you're not careful with it. If you start smoking it like John would, you'd have sandpaper for a ton. That's for sure. Oh, what else is going on? Oh, 2 weeks ago we did a little Bible study. That was nice. I haven't had a chance to really prepare myself for another one, so that may be coming down the road. We may just do a little bit different format on that. Next week, we got our fair starts on Monday, but they are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is just check-in for exhibits and static exhibits, and then some different livestock shows. Thursday, we've got a few shows. Friday and Saturday are kind of our big days. Nothing big compared to what our fair normally looks like, but it's big for what we can do this year. We've got our beef show on Friday, and there's usually 400 or 500 people involved in that. And then we've got a concert Friday night featuring Luke Mills, the Luke Mills Band, and then the DJ Bridwell. They're both excuse me, kind of red dirt country artists. Both really talented guys from this area. I think that we'll probably see them in the future making it big. But Saturday we got all the swine shows, and then Saturday afternoon we're having a flies, floats, or rolls show. And so we're trying to get the State Patrol helicopter to land at our fairgrounds for that show. Been going through and watching some of Matches's older videos, some of Bremen Pipe Smoker's older videos. Trying to think of watching Padre and Mark VV do their blend reviews. That's always enjoyable. I think last week, John David from the Country Squire, he announced that they were going to go ahead and cancel all of their 50th anniversary stuff down there in Jackson, and they're going to try and roll it over into next year, the activities they had planned on that. Oh, trying to figure out what else is happening in the worlds of pipes and the worlds of Flatwater Monty. Haven't got to shoot a cowboy action match in over a year now. Our state tournament was supposed to be, our state championship was supposed to be last weekend, but we wound up canceling it. A lot of the cowboy shooters that we shoot with are older. They're in their anywhere from their 60s to 80s, and being that they're high risk individuals, we decided the best course of action was to not expose them to COVID. So we went ahead and canceled that back in May, just because of the amount of planning that it takes to go into something like that. The last shoot that we got to do was out in Colorado. It was the Pawnee City's, Pawnee Station. It was their annual match, and I did not do well in that match at all. Been trying to. I guess the good thing is when we're not shooting, at least when I'm not having to reload everything. I haven't checked the progress of Phil's YouTube channel to see if he's got some new subscribers yet or not. That's about it, I guess. Got to get a bunch of packages sent off here this week. Still got a couple of packages from the giveaway that I got to get over to the post office, because I can't just print the postage from my my shop. I tried that on one guy's package and it came back and said that had a sticky note on it that it was invalid postmark. Sure feels good just to sit down and relax with a pipe, though. The road's been going just straight to pot at this point in time. Having the normalcy of being able to sit down and pack a pipe and enjoy the pipe, at least that grounds us a little bit. Need to go out after the fair is over here. Dial in my bow, because bow season starts at the end of August, so I need to put some arrows down range to make sure I'm still on target. I haven't practiced nearly as much as I should have, but life just seems to have caught up with us quite recently, quite a bit. But yeah, there's not a whole lot going on in the world that would probably interest you guys too much. Let's see. But, hoping to be able to make a few more videos. I was telling Mel earlier that looking at doing a cigars for pipe smokers series, and kind of raiding the humidor for some ones that I enjoy, and I think maybe you guys would enjoy as well. And I picked up a few new sticks for me as well that I haven't tried in the past. Got a few that are kind of resting after getting bounced from wherever Cigars International and Cigar Bid ships them from. I think that's part of pipes and cigars. So we'll have to see how those ones turn out here. It's just been a whirlwind here for the last really 6 months. Just nothing's been normal. I've been without help in the shop. My intern has a compromised immune system, so he's been at home. I don't know if he's coming back. The other options for interns from the trade school are pretty slim pickings, let's put it that way. They all want to have the job and the title and the paycheck, but they don't really want to do the work that needs to be done to earn it. Gotten demonized by a few members in the community about masks, because they assume that that I'm an anti-mask person because I don't require them at my shop. And I'm not anti-mask. I'm anti being forced to wear a mask. I haven't gone to the next town over. Was about 60,000 people there. It's been months since I've gone over there because it's a hot spot in the state, and so everybody requires you to wear a mask. And if I can't get it from a local business, I just order it online. So, well, we're fast approaching the hour here, and we'll probably call her quits at the hour. It's been good to be back on a live stream. Last week the heat was just unbearable. I think on Wednesday last week we had a heat index of 111. We were the highest in the state. The stress of everything going on, it was just not conducive to a live stream last week. but it's good to get to visit with some people online here. There's only 2 other pipe smokers in my little town. And one of them is a friend of mine who I introduced to it. And the other is an older gentleman who's a friend as well. So I kind of envy you guys that have pipe and cigar shops somewhere in town, because our nearest tobacconist is quite a boy. I tell you, where's our nearest tobacconist? Probably the closest one would be in Hastings. So, Midwest Cigar Guy, how are you doing, bud? Enjoyed your cigar reviews. Actually, I found your channel after I started searching for the Fat Bottom Betty cigars. So, excuse me, I actually have some of those. They're resting after their little trip from, I think it's Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, before I try them. Life's just been a little bit too busy to prep for a Bible study. I think I kind of read through the first chapter of Acts, but I hadn't put a whole lot of thought into it, and I kind of felt bad about that. Decided we're not going to pick that back up until I have a chance to sit down and read it and put a little more thought into what I want to say. So, but yeah, it's let's see. Yeah, it's just been crazy times. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it that way. Thinking maybe later I hadn't decided what I wanted to smoke this evening, but I've got an Ave Maria Divinia here. So, oh, fantastic! That's great. I'm glad you're starting Acts in August. I think that the church in and of itself today is very broken, and that it's going to be up to those that are faithful believers to kind of go back to those first century churches where it's 4 or 5 or a couple of families or 3 families who are getting together in a living room someplace to talk about the gospel and the message. I've been a member of the Methodist Church my entire life. I'm 39, and I've been very disappointed in the direction that the Methodist Church has gone, especially in the last 10 years with their stance towards how do you say this, PC? Blatantly sinful behavior. Not that I'm opposed to people's lifestyle choices. That's the wonderful thing about what the Lord gave us is free will. We can make our own decisions. But when people that are choosing to live that lifestyle openly and proudly and loudly can be not only lay people in the church, but also ministers and quite influential people, I feel that at that point in time, you're going down the wrong path. Our church here, we got some new pastors here about 18 months ago, and I I'm not the only one. There's several other members of our congregation who have just gotten up and left because of the way they're distorting the word to fit their political agenda. Kind of reminds me of another group in the past that did that. That were ultimately responsible for pushing Jesus towards the cross. Of course, you see, the thing that I think we as Americans don't realize, and Canadians too, and most people in Europe actually, we have a level of freedom to practice our religion and our beliefs that is unheard of in a lot of places. When you, I just saw this week that in China, um, now the government there is forcing Christian churches to take down their crosses and take down any reference of Jesus, and they have to put up communist propaganda instead. And I mean, even with the Islamic side of things, they were rounding up Muslims there and putting them into boxcars and sending them to who knows where. I don't have proof, but I'm sure that there are gulags in China just like there were in Russia. When you look at that, I mean, there are people that want to practice their religion, but boy, they have to do it in secret because there's a good chance that they'll die, from persecution. But well, guys, this bowl is out, and I've got some chores and things I need to do tonight still. So I'm going to cut her short here. I appreciate everybody who had joined me for this evening. And next week we'll have a midweek smoke. I don't know where it's going to be from, and most likely will probably be from my truck at the fairgrounds, unless things wrap up early there. But I'd love for you to join me there and continue the conversation. So with that being said, you guys have yourselves a wonderful evening and happy smokes, and we'll talk to you next week.